welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny and you can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Honeybird Studio. Today I have a different video. Today I have, basically, I'm going to go over everything that's on my knitting needles right now. And I have this pile of whips and a couple more down here. And so I just wanted to make this video as, it's not necessarily going to be like a finish or frog video because I don't think I'm going to be frogging any of these projects. I think I already went through and frogged the projects that I don't want to be working on. So this is more of an accountability video where I'm going to go over, I have 15 projects on the needles right now, 15 whips, and my plans, like I want to go over what my plans are for each one. My hopes, my hopes for when I'm going to finish them. And yeah, so if you're interested in seeing all of the things I have on my knitting needles right now, stick around. And yeah, I will just jump into it. Okay, I didn't put any of these in any particular order. I wrote down my notes this morning. I wrote down what every project was and who the designer was. And I was good this time, and I brought my ball bands. I've been trying to keep them in these plastic Ziploc bags so I don't forget them. Okay, so I guess I'll get started with whip number one is this one here. So this is a Birkeland shawl. This is a pattern. This is my own design. I recently released it. Oh gosh, what day was that? It was mid-September. Was it mid-September? Gosh, I can't remember the exact date. But in any case, it's live now. It's on Ravelry. So you can find it on my Ravelry page. And this is how far I got. I was basically knitting this one alongside my test knitters just until the point where you start to add the garter repeats on this side. I just wanted to make sure that my increases made sense all the way up and that there was no mistakes, and my testers were very, yeah, there was no mistakes, which is always good. I mean, as a designer, I always worry when I write a pattern that I'm going to miss a stitch, 1 or 2 stitches, or I'm going to like get some rows mixed up or whatever. And so before I even send out a design to test knit, I knit it up myself. I usually knit a swatch, and well, yeah, I always knit a swatch, but then I always will knit up the design at least 2 times, 3 times before I officially send it out for testing. Because normally the way I do it is I'll knit it the first time when I'm designing it. The second time I will knit it from my written pattern, and the third time I'll knit it from my typed up pattern so that I can find any inconsistencies between my scribbled notes for version 1, my scribbled notes when I'm just jotting things down, and then my nicer notes the second time around, where instead of using short form, I actually like write out all the steps and stitches. And then the third time is knitting it up from it being typed up on the computer, because sometimes it's easy to miss something from going from paper to text, like on the computer. Anyways, that's a long tangent. So this is as far as I got on the Birkeland shawl. The yarn I'm using is this Lion brand Pound of Love. So it is, if I remember correctly, it's like 1,000 yards or something. 16 ounces. It is 1,020 yards or 932 meters. So I bought this, I don't know, probably used a 40% off coupon. I bought this probably 2 years ago. Or maybe it was last year, when I think maybe they even just went on sale for 40% off, and I bought a couple of different colors with the intention of making vests, but decided to make a Birkeland shawl instead. So my plan with this is I do want to finish it, and I think I will gift this shawl to someone that would like it. It's acrylic, so I'll be putting it into the washer and dryer, and if anyone in my family likes it, I'll just gift it to them, and if not, then I'll probably just donate it, maybe. I don't know. I have a lot of things that I knit, and I don't necessarily want to keep them for myself. I just want to do the process of knitting the item, not necessarily keeping the item. I feel like it's kind of a 50-50. Half the things I don't want to keep because I already have too many. And the other 50% I want to keep for myself because I don't have enough. Anyway, sorry. I'm going off on tangents now. So that's whip number 1. And let me just toss this aside. Okay, whip number 1. Birkeland shawl. Whip number 2 is living in a shopping bag with cats on it. And this is going to be my Seasons sweater by Ozetta. And let me just put my notes up here. Okay, so this sweater, this is the second time I've cast it on. And I know I am going to run out of the mohair. So this is, what I'm knitting is 1 strand of Hobby Diablo mohair. And 1 strand of, what is this? Lion Brand Heartland, I think? Yeah. Lion Brand Heartland. I got, again, this was probably last year. Definitely last year when the yarn all went on sale at Michael's. I've always wanted to try the Heartland yarn because it's kind of got like a very light heathering effect to it. So let's see. Oh yeah, so this is how much mohair I have left. So I've ordered 2 more balls, I think. Oh no, sorry. Oh, here we go. I got 1 full ball or 1 full donut and 2 like odds and ends. And so I ordered 2 more. So I hope that's going to be enough because I am so over it. I've had to order this Diablo mohair 3 times. Initially for my sister-in-law's sweater. The second time was to get enough to finish her sweater, and then I bought too many, so I'm holding it double to knit a sweater, and then I don't have enough, so I ordered 2 more. Oh my goodness. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. Anyways, which is the front and which is the back? Okay, I'm holding it like this. This looks like it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is the season sweater, and it's an all-over half fisherman's brioche, or half fisherman's rib, I think is what it's called. And even though I have enough mohair to finish the, I definitely have enough to finish this sleeve and probably get started on the second sleeve. I just didn't want to keep going until I have all of the yarn to finish this. So, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I hope I don't make any mistakes, because the first time I cast this on, I made a mistake in the middle of the back, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to fix half fisherman's rib. And when I tried to fix it, I just made it worse. So I'm trying to take this project slower this second time around and make sure that I don't make any mistakes. And I really like the combination that the fabric is getting with the Lion Brand Heartland and the Diablo mohair. Sorry, it's not even like mohair. It's like, what is even? I think it's like mostly acrylic. It's not really mohair. 40% acrylic, 30% mohair, and 30% polyamide. So it's only 30% mohair. But it's a fuzzy yarn. So I'm super excited. My plan for this one is once I get the yarn, once I get the Diablo in the mail, which should be in I'm assuming it's going to take 2 weeks to get here, because I think even though I ordered it on Monday, I just got the email yesterday that they have packaged my order, and now it's on the way. So it's either going to be here late next week or early the week after, which is fine. I've got many more projects to work on in the meantime. So my plan is I want to have this done. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna say I want to have it done by the end of the year. I think that's my goal for the most of these, is going to be have it done by the end of the year, so that way it gives me almost, 2.5 months to work on them. So yeah, that is work in progress number 2, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to lose track of the numbers that I'm on. Okay, let's try this bag. This is one of my newer bags that I sewed up. I say newer, I probably sewed it up back in the spring. Or maybe it was even last year. I don't know. I sew bags and then they just kind of hang out until I use them or give them away. And okay, so this is my longest whip. This one is All of the Lights by Joji Locatelli. And this is a all over cable, lace, and bobble cardigan. And when I initially cast this on, I was craving something that had texture. And this hit it checked off all the boxes. It had lace, it had cables, it had moss stitch, and bobbles. It's like it's got a little bit of everything. And so this is actually the second time I've cast it on. And this is how far I've gotten, which is not very far at all considering I cast it on. I think it was last summer, June or August is when I cast it on. And let me see if I can hold this up. And this is how far I've gotten. I've knit about, 3 inches past the sleeve opening. I've tried this on and it fits. And I think, yeah, it's got like the little lace with the baubles in it. Oh, sorry, it's so hard to show. I see like and it's got a cable down the back, lace and baubles, more cables, and then the texture on this. Or no, I guess that's not seed stitch. It's something else entirely. But this texture I really enjoy knitting. And the yarn that I'm using for this is called Silken Merino by Fiddlesticks Knitting, and it is 50% Tussa silk and 50% merino wool. And each 50-gram ball is approximately 105 meters. So this is what the ball band looks like. And I bought this off of a friend who was destashing her yarn, and I bought, I think, 15 or 20 balls of this. So I am going to knit this until I run out of yarn. I think what I'll do is, my plan is I'm going to pick up for the sleeves, because I think all of the work that goes into the body portion of the cardigan, I think it's just a little bit much for me right now. I think if I were to start one of the sleeves and actually finish it by the end of this month, I feel like that would give me the motivation to get back to doing the body of this of this cardigan. But I think, like I said, what I think I'll do is I'm going to knit the sleeves, and with whatever yarn I have left over, I'm just going to knit this cardigan as long as I can. And I know that there's going to be a lot of knitting. It's a lot of cables, just a lot. Oh yeah, like even like this cable here, tons of cables. And yeah, so the thing about this pattern is that the repeats for each chart end on different rows. So I had to write down in a notebook all of the repeats and where it was that they finally matched up. And I think it's like row 48 is where all the repeats start over again, if that makes sense. So I have it written down in a notebook, and I just check off every row that I do. I don't know, I can't really explain it. It looks, I showed it to my dad this morning because I brought my notebook, but it's over there, so. But I showed it to my dad and he said, how do you even know what you're doing? And I was like, it's just numbers and letters and check marks. But when I look at it, I understand. It's like, oh yeah, this is chart A, row 1, this is chart B, row 7, and then chart C, row 5 or 11 or whatever it happens to be. And then they all line up somewhere down the line. But yeah, so that's All of the Lights by Joji Locatelli. This is like my, I wouldn't say like my ultimate project in the sense of like it's the most ultimate, I don't know. It's the most intricate thing that I have on my needles right now. And I feel like I said, if I can just maybe cast one of the sleeves on and get going on that might re-inspire me to pick this up and continue working on, continue working on it in general. So that's number 3. I think whip number 3. Let's go with this llama bag. I bought this at a Christmas market last year. There was a lady that was selling all sorts of little zipper pouches. And I think this is technically a makeup bag, but it works as a project bag. So in here, this is whip number 4. Okay, so in here, oh my goodness. I have a pair of socks. Well, I have one sock. So I was initially intending to turn the woodstone pattern into, like the woodstone wrap chart into a sock pattern. Like basically just use the same lace motif. I think it's, yeah, it's just the lace motif and then the twisted cables and nothing else. But I don't know, I knit the first sock and then I kind of lost steam on them because this is as far as I got on the second sock. And it looks like I need 1, 2, 3, I think I did 6 repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I did 6 repeats before I started the heel. And I've done 3. So the yarn I'm using for this is by Midnight Cravings. The color is called Why Not? And my ball is looking a little sad here. But let's see, this one is, yeah. So Midnight Cravings. And the colorway is Why Not? And this is in their light sock base. So this is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And it is 400 meters per 100 grams or 437 yards per 100 grams. And I'm knitting these on my Addy Flexi Flips. I think I've talked about these before. I do prefer well, when I was knitting socks a lot, like when I was knitting a lot of socks very fast, I really preferred using the Addy Flexi Flips as opposed to DPNs. But I'm wondering now if I should try Magic Loop for socks. Because I do have cords long, like I do have fixed circulars to do Magic Loop. I just haven't tried it yet for some reason because I think I liked my Addy Flexi Flips so much. So the plan for these socks, I don't know. This is kind of like on the back burner. I'm not too fussed about finishing the socks. I don't think I'll write it up as a pattern or anything, at least not anytime soon. It's essentially just using the chart on the front of the sock and then just doing twisted stitches, or like a twisted 1x1 cable for the rest of the socks. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it's something I'll just write the formula up for, just cliff notes. Anyway, so that's whip number 4. Oh, sorry, I put my sock in there. I won't leave my sock by itself. Okay, number 4. So, okay, whip number 5 is living in one of my favorite fabric bags that I've made. I don't know what it is about, well, I mean, I'm Honeybird Studio. I do like birds. But, yeah, these bird fabrics are some of my favorites. This one's my all-time favorite, is this fabric. Oh, it's just so good. Anyways, whip number 5. In here is my Moonset tee, and this is by Ozetta. And the yarn that I'm using, oh my gosh, I did not bring the ball band. But the yarn I'm using is by Isis Fiber Arts. And it was a cashmere blend. Cashmere wool blend, I think. It's super soft. Maybe it was cashmere and alpaca. I don't know, but it's super duper soft. So I totally lost steam on this because of the folded hem. Because I think I mentioned this before, but what I did was I just folded the hem over and did a crochet a slip stitch all the way around, and I don't like how it's puckering like this. So I just kind of like put this off to the side, and I'm like, oh, I'll get around to it another time. Because I think what it was, I want to finish the body, and I think what I'll do is I'll try to finish the body and do a proper folded hem where you actually sew it, and I think I'll appreciate that more. So I really enjoyed knitting this pattern. The only thing I didn't like was the bind off on the sleeves and the body, because I don't remember what it was. It was like an I-cord bind off, or maybe it was just you just bind off or something. I don't know, whatever it was about the edging, I didn't like it. And so that's why I tried to do a folded cuff thing. Just don't like the way it's looking. So my plan for this one is going to be, I think I'll take this one home with me, and I'm going to try and finish the body and sew the bottom, like the cuff. That's not the cuff, but you know what I mean. The bottom of the body. Folded brim. That's what I'm going to do, or whatever it's called. I don't know. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on it? Anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this home, and I want to work on this over the next coming weeks, I think. Because it's just stockinette in the round. That's all I have to do. And then I just do a bind off, and then do the sewn hem. So that's what it's called, the hem. Sew the hem. And then I'll go back and unpick the sleeve cuffs and redo those. So it would be really nice to have this one done by the end of the month, because there's not a lot of knitting left to do on this one. I probably have like 2 inches of the body left. So that's my moonset tee. That's number 5. Let's go with number 6. What's living in here? Oh yeah, okay. So work in progress number 6 is the gown cardigan, and this is a pattern by Irene. And I've actually put a lot of progress on this in the last 2 days. I caked up a skein of yarn, and I knit the whole thing into the shawl, or yeah, into the cardigan in 2 days. So I knit a whole skein in 2 days. So this is it. And look at the lovely cables. Oh my gosh. The rest of the body's just stockinette. And okay, the yarn that I use for this is called, I'm certain I brought this one. Haha. Okay, so this one is Fiber Spates Scrumptious DK / Worsted. So it's this one here. And I had 7 skeins of this, and I don't think I'm going to end up using all of them. I think I only needed 5 for this project. But it was a de-stash. One sec. Oh. Everything's falling. Again, a friend of mine that was de-stashing all, like, her sweaters quantities of yarn. She was selling them at, like, half the cost that she bought them for. So I scooped up, this was like 2 years ago, I scooped up quite a few sweaters quantities worth of yarn, and this was one of them. So yeah, I believe my sister is coming over today, so I'm gonna have her try this on and then figure out how many more inches I need to knit before I do the ribbing. Ideally, I would have liked to just knit this as long as I possibly could have to use up all the yarn, but my sister doesn't want a long cardigan, so I have no idea what I'm gonna do with the leftover yarn, because it's, if I remember correctly, this is 45% silk and 55% merino, and it's unspun, or it's like, yeah, it's not plied or anything, it's just single ply, I guess. So I don't know what I could make with this. I was like, oh yeah, I'll make a hat or a headband, but I feel like that's probably not the best idea. But I can't make another garment with it, so anyways. So I love how this is looking. This is great. My plan for this one is absolutely to have it finished by my sister's coming over today, and then the next time I see her will be the weekend after the 15th, 16th, 17th, so I think on the 18th. So I essentially got like 10 days, just over a week to have this done. Oh no, because I gotta block it too. So okay, my plan for this is to have it done by a week from today. So next Saturday, because I'm filming this on Saturday. So yeah, I can do that. Actually, yeah, I want to get this done before the Irene Lynn knit along kicks off on the 15th. That's the plan. Yeah. Okay. That's what, whip number 6. And that's living in another shopping bag, because I don't have project bags that are big enough for sweaters. Or, yeah. I do have, like, bigger project bags, but once a sweater gets to a certain point, I end up putting them in shopping bags. And what is that, number 6? Number 7. Oh yeah, so this is just super basic. This is a Christmas stocking I'm working on for my younger sister. It's been a while since I've shown this. I think I showed it back in the summer. Haven't made much progress on it. I think I knit like 2 rounds. The yarn I'm using is Loops and Loops and Threads Impeccable. My sister requested a off-white color, so I actually had some of this already, so that was perfect. And I just did a seed stitch. So what was it? Yeah, so I did, I don't know how many rounds, like probably 40 rounds of seed stitch. And then I did a purl row, and then I knit, what was it? Oh no, did I start? No, I guess I started with 20 rows of stockinette. That's what it was. Started with 20 rows of stockinette, and then I think it was like almost twice the amount of seed stitch I had to do to match the width of it. And then I folded it over, connected it, like I sewed it down, or not sewed it down, sorry, like, you know what I mean, picked up the stitches and sewed them together, or knit them together. And yeah, goal for this one, I just want to have it done by Christmas. So if I just whittle away at it every once in a while, I did time how long it takes me to make one of these stockings, and it's pretty well bang on 8 hours from start to finish, because one day, was it 8 hours or was it 4 hours? No, it had to have been 8 hours, because I think I took a whole day where every time I sat down to work, so like in the morning I cast on a stocking, and every time I was sitting down that day to work on it, I just set a timer, and at the end of the night I finished the stocking, and I just added up all the time, and I'm pretty sure it was like 8 hours for one stocking, which isn't bad. So I'm already a quarter of the way through, so probably only 6 more hours to go. So yeah, just I want to get this one done by Christmas, that's all. Should be easy enough. Is that number 7? Okay, let's go work in progress number 8. So this is living in my, this is like a really cool bag I got from Ginger Snap. I got this at Knit City a couple years ago, and it's one of those it's one of these bags that opens up with a like a box. It's got a pocket inside. So cool. Anyways, so living in here is my Sporty knit Skort, and this is a pattern by Florence Miller, and this is how far I've gotten. It's looking pretty small at the moment. I got the elastic waistband in there, which I think I did make a size too big for myself, but I think it'll be okay. If not, I'm sure I could find, I mean, maybe my sister will try it on and it might fit her when it's done. But anyways, so I had to take the needle. I actually did have to recently take the needles off this because I needed it for doing the sleeves on my Harlow sweaters. So I did, these are technically not on the needles, but I just borrowed the needles because I only have one set of 3.5s, and that's a lie. I have 3.5 Chiaogu now. But anyway, the yarn I'm using is some vintage Regia yarn that I got, a friend of mine, her grandmother was destashing yarn. And this is, I tried to look this up online and I couldn't find what year it was, but I think there was a date on here somewhere. I swear I remember saying like, oh yeah, there is a date in here. It's made in Germany, number 883 del 26.11.73. So I don't know if, oh, you're not gonna be able to see that. I don't know if that means that this was made in 1973, but it's supposed to be superwash, or it's supposed to be machine washable, I think. It says 100% superwash, it says superwash machine washable, guaranteed non-felting. Anyways, so I'm holding 2 strands together, and I've got this much left of these 2 balls, and then I've got 4 more. So I don't know if I'll have enough to do the Skort portion, but even if I do, this is pretty rough feeling, even though it does say it's superwash, it's not. I don't think I'd want to wear this on my thighs. The Skort, the shorts that go under the skirt. I don't think I want that, so I think I'll either omit the shorts entirely, or I'll knit it in a different yarn, which I might do. Anyways, so that's my Sporty knit Skort. My plan for this one is I would like to have it done by Christmas, or at least by like December, by the end of the year. I really want to wear this skirt. I think the pictures look really nice on the project pages, and I'm just hoping that once I wash and block this yarn, it'll feel nicer, maybe. But I think it'll look really cute over a pair of black tights and boots and like a nice, I don't know, black button-down shirt with a vest over top or something. I don't know. That's the plan anyways. Well, that's what my hope. So is that, oh my gosh, I'm on number 8 or 9. Let's go on to the next one, which I'm going to say, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm on number 8, I think. So my next project, I'm just going to say the next one. My next whip is Cloudburst by Arienne Gray. I talked about these on my podcast recently. And if I can get them out of the bag, that'd be nice. Okay, needles. Okay, so I finished, what did I do here? Okay, I finished one glove. So I finished, okay, I say I finished. I have to weave in the ends. And then I just, what is it, this one? I'm just about ready to do the thumb on this one. But the thing is with this one, I actually ran out of the, one of the yarns, the lace. And so I doubled up on the mohair. And, oh, I actually brought my ball bands this time. Yeah, let me take these off. I just have to do the thumb on this one. But this is all I have left of the mohair. And I'm holding it double. And I think on here, I ran out, oh, you can kind of see. Right there is where I ran out of the lace. So I just doubled up on the mohair. I'm not too concerned about the difference because these are for me. And then, yeah, I just have this little nugget left. I'm hoping it'll be enough. All I have to do is knit, I think it's like 12 rounds on the thumb gusset and then bind off. So I was knitting on these for, I don't know, all night last night until I went to bed. And I just couldn't push myself that much more to finish the thumb gusset. So the plan for this one is probably to just finish these by tonight or tomorrow. And, oh yeah, the yarn is sheepy's. And this was the mohair. It's called Mohair Rhythm. And then the lace was called Alpaca Rhythm. And it's 80% alpaca and 20% extra fine wool. And I believe these had to both be the same color. The colorway was called Foxtrot. And each one of these was 25 grams for 200 meters. So it's interesting because I feel like anytime I've worked with mohair, it always seems to last longer than anything else that I'm holding along with it, even if they say they have the same amount of yardage or meterage. So that's living in another project bag I made. The next work in progress is living in one of my bird bags. And this is, oh yeah, this is my Lyss toque. So I haven't made any progress on this since my podcast episode. I'm still where I was before, but I think what I'm going to do is when I'm rewriting the pattern, I'm not rewriting the pattern, I'm updating it. This is a worsted weight, but I'm rewriting it for DK weight. And I'm also planning on starting the decreases, I think 8 rounds sooner, because I think when I was trying on my other Lyss toques, without a pom-pom, they sit up just a little bit too pointy, and I don't like that. So I think what I need to do is start the decreases either 4 or 8 rounds prior to where they are now, because it just has that like a little bit extra up there that doesn't sit quite right. I don't like it, so I'm gonna rework the decreases. The yarn that I'm using for this is leftover from my Harlow sweater, and it's just the knitting for olive heavy merino. I think this colorway is called stone gray or something like that. So I just have a couple of donuts left. There's like 2 more. So that's that. My plan is to finish this one. Oh, I gotta finish it by next weekend. And I want to finish my final sample of the Lyss toque. I want to have that finished by the 20th, I think. Okay, the next work in progress. Living in another bird bag. So this is my Toledo top, and this is by Ekaterina Vorobeva. And the yarn that I'm using, I don't have the ball band actually. Do I? No, I didn't bring the right Ziploc bag. But it's a Karen cotton funnel cake I got on clearance for like $3 at Michael's 2 years ago. And I think the last time I showed this is the last progress I've made on it. So I don't think it's going to be any different from the last time that I showed it on the pot or showed it on my channel. So I just separated the front and the back. Oh my gosh, this is really hard to show. So it wants to slip out of my hands. But I just separated the front and the back. And I believe I'm working on the front right now. It's just got this really nice cable and lace pattern on it. I think it's like a 4-row repeat. It's really simple to remember. I'm sure I'll have to like look at the pattern again once I pick it up. But my plan for this is because it's cotton. I'm not like too worried about finishing this anytime soon because the weather is going to be getting much colder. Well, today it's going to be 27 degrees Celsius, which is bonkers. It is what, October 8th or something like that, and it's summer temperatures, like mid-summer temperatures. So my plan for this one is I'm going to probably put this on the back burner until the new year, maybe not until spring, or unless I just have nothing else to do, but this is not a priority for me. I do want to have the finished project, but again, it's like I said, it's more of a summer garment, so I'm going to put this one on hold. Oh, I think I got 4 more. Okay. Oh yeah, this one's fun. So this is my most recent cast on. This is the Moby Slipover by Petite Knit. And let's see if I can get this going. Okay. This is from, this is yarn that I bought from Knit City this year, a couple weeks ago. So this is the first Knit City project that I've cast on. And this is how far I've gotten. Oh, it looks so cute. So the yarn that I'm using is from Ancient Arts Yarn, and this is the Heritage base. And this is grown, milled, and dyed in Alberta, Canada. So this is 100% Canadian wool. And, oh yeah, and it is Gotland, 100% Gotland. And it was 240 yards for 115 grams. And I only bought 3 of them. And then with this pattern, I didn't like the way it was knitting up on 3.5mm needles, so I went up to a 4.5. And I'm knitting the extra small, and it is still very roomy when I try it on. Like it looks like it'll fit nice and snug, but when I put it on, it's just this, in hindsight, I didn't need to cast on the number of stitches under the arms, because it's just an extra inch on each side that I didn't need, but that's okay. So this is all I have left of the 3rd ball. And then I have just a little bit of one of the other balls from when I did maybe the back panel. And so I had a feeling I was going to run out of yarn. So last year I had bought the same colorway but on a different base from Ancient Arts. I think it's on their Lascaux DK base. And what I did was I took that leftover yarn and I knit the neckband and the armbands. And it's, even though it's the same colorway, it's indie dyed. So of course, and even like commercially dyed, when it's that far apart from being dyed, the dye lots or like the colors are going to be slightly different. And also the Lascaux DK is a different sheep breed as well than the Gotland. Or than the Heritage. So of course the dye is going to take a little bit differently, but I actually really like how it looks. On camera it stands out a little bit more. In person it's a little bit more subtle in person, I feel like. But I actually really like just the subtle difference in texture and color on the collar and the sleeves. I'm sad that I don't have enough to do the ribbing that's going to be at the bottom of the vest, but that's okay. I'm just going to knit. I'm just going to keep going until I run out of yarn, basically. Or I'll keep trying it on and see if I want it to be a crop length or just see how far I can get with the rest of this. I just connected this to the body. So I'm thinking I could probably get another 6 to 8 inches. Maybe 6 inches and then start the ribbing. So I think that's, you know what, that actually might be an appropriate length. Maybe 3 balls is really all I needed. My plan for this one is what is it? My gown cardigan I want to finish, and my Moby Slipover I want to finish. I want to have these both done by next weekend. So that's the plan for that. Make sure I don't get my yarn stuck in my zippers. Okay, the next work in progress I have is living in a shopping bag. So this is the Boho style Mosaic cardigan by Irene Lynn. And I talked about this on my podcast. I am definitely going to run out of yarn, so I have ordered more yarn. This is Hobby Friends wool. Oh, actually, I have it right here. So this is Hobby Friends wool. It's 100% wool. It says it's supposed to be worsted. I mean, I guess that could be right. It's a very bouncy yarn, but I feel like it knits more like a DK, like a light worsted or a DK. So this project is technically on hold until I get the yarn. Oh, sorry. To finish it, because I'm done the sleeves, and then this is all I have left to do the body, but I want to do 3 more repeats before I start the color work. So I'm just putting this one on hold until I get the yarn. So the yarn for this probably won't come in until, like I said, late next week or the week after. But my goal for this would probably be to have it done by the end of October. Because once I get to the Mosaic color work on here, it'll fly by because it's so addicting to knit every row of color work. Because you're only ever, because it's Mosaic knitting, you're only ever knitting with one color. And when you knit Mosaic flat, you're never having to purl anything. So that's really nice. Unlike when you knit Mosaic in the round, the first row is knit, and then the second row you have to purl the stitches to get the the garter. Right? Yeah. Anyways. So that's that one. Okay, we're almost at the end here. What else do I have? Okay, the last 2 works in progress are my Harlow sweaters. So, the Harlow sweater is by Caidree. And this one is made out of Loops and Threads Impeccable. And I have done some progress on this since I last showed it on my podcast. So I picked it back up on the body, and I've knit at least another inch or so. Yeah. Yeah, I've knit an inch on here. So this is just a boring stockinette in the round until I finish it. I'm not seeing my sister-in-law until probably the end of this month, possibly next month. But the plan is to have both the Harlow sweaters, all 3 of the Harlow sweaters done by the end of the month. And then hopefully I want to plan a get together with my sister, my younger sister, my sister-in-law, and myself, so I can get pictures of us in the Harlow sweaters. So that's the first one. And then the second Harlow sweater is living in another bag. Another shopping bag. So this one is my younger sister's, and this one is made out of Barocco Vintage. And it's got the ball band. So Barocco Vintage. And I finished, since last time I showed it, I finished the front hem. Oh gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna rearrange myself here. I finished the front hem, and I have picked up the sleeve. So all that's left on this one is the sleeve, and then weaving in the ends and washing and blocking. Oh, it looks so good. Maybe I'll have my sister, when I see her today, I'll have her try it on. But again, my goal for the Harlow sweaters is to have them done by the end of the month. And then what I plan to do with the Harlow sweaters is I want to film a video talking more in depth about my my experience knitting them with the yarn that I chose. So like with the acrylic yarn, the acrylic wool blend, and then the 100% wool yarn. And there seemed to be quite a bit of interest for that. So that'll be a video that I'll be filming hopefully at the end of this month or sometime in November. And then maybe next year I'll do a follow-up video on like how well the sweaters wore throughout the year for myself, my younger sister, and my sister-in-law. But yeah, so that's that. That is everything on my needles right now. That is every project that I have cast on that hasn't been finished yet. And that's pretty much it. I'm surrounded by lovely knitting projects, and I'm looking forward to having a lot of these off my needles because the Irene Lynn knit along starts on October 15th, and I'm planning on casting on the Acacia cardigan. And I've already lined up projects for, or I've already lined up yarn for the Ramble Jumper, her newest pattern, the Ran Vest, and another gown cardigan. So I've got 4 Irene patterns that I want to get done. I want to cast on and finish within this knit along. We'll see if that happens. But yeah. So the plan is hopefully I want to get down to under 10 works in progress by the end of the year. That's like, I would say that's a reasonable goal, to have 10 or less projects going into the new year. But my lofty goal would be to have less than 5 works in progress going into the new year. I guess my extreme goal would be to have everything done and a clean slate starting on January 1st. But I think that's a little bit out there, but we'll see. So anyways, yeah, that's all I have to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything that's on my needles, and yeah, my next video should be going up soon because I plan on filming another video tomorrow, and that'll be for the Irene Lynn knit along starting on October 15th. So I plan to make a video going over all the things that I've knit so far from Irene Lynn and what my, like, just going over some like inspiration and stuff for the knit along, and that'll be posted on October 15th as a live premiere, I think. I've never done that before, but it's whatever. I'm hoping it's the thing where you post it and it has the live chat when it first premieres, and then we can, like, you know, chat and watch the video kind of thing and have a little cast on party. That's the plan. Hopefully that comes to fruition. I'm going to try and hold myself accountable now that I've said it. But anyways, that's all I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, happy knitting.